When I was in high school, I remember running into one of my classmates, and in mid-conversation, he paused, painted a smirk on his face, sunk his 18-year-old hips into his body, then fixed his lips to ask me, "What that mouth do?" And I was taken aback because I had never been asked a question like that. Like, why was him curious about what my mouth do when he had one too? But I answered the question as best as I could. Like, this mouth, also known as the oral cavity proper, opens to the outside at the lips. Its boundaries are defined by the lips and the cheeks, and it's divided into two sections, the vestibule and the oral cavity proper. And the latter section is mostly filled by the tongue, which, if you didn't know, is the large muscle firmly anchored to the floor of your mouth by the frenulum linguum. And in addition to its primary role in the initial digestion of food, the mouth and its structures are essential because they assist in the formation of speech. So if you're wondering what this mouth do, it eats and it speaks. Then he slouched in dissatisfaction at my answer, then repeated the question in a different tone, as if I didn't understand it the first time. Like, nah, what that mouth do? And it became obvious that his question was meant to question my skill level in performing oral. See, at the age of 16, I realized that men didn't care about whether or not your mouth could formulate a cohesive sentence, or if you used your mouth with intelligence. They only care if you know how to swallow them whole, make your saliva glands produce enough fluids to satisfy their manhood. See, I, at 16, was mad that I had ever been asked a question like that. But refraining from turning irate, I simply answered him this. This mouth does a multitude of things. This mouth makes magic happen. It crafts stories to tell like the one I'm telling now, to make a point to all girls that if confronted with such a question, they make it be known that they mouth do extraordinary things, like breathe life into hopeless bodies. This mouth speaks life and can make a difference. See, this mouth pack a whole lot of power because in actuality, this mouth can have your ass beat for disrespecting me. And in collaboration with my teeth, this mouth chews up the lies you tried to feed me, process it through my intestines just to shit it out. This mouth gnaws on meat, swallows its pride if need be. This mouth a beast. It spits poetry and does karaoke. See, this mouth is so fucking talented that it blows bubbles. See, this mouth is an entryway for food and air. It screams, complains, it gets loud. This mouth proud, something like Harriet Tubman. This mouth gives instructions, leading enslaved minds to freedom. This mouth forms smiles in the midst of adversity. This mouth sojourner truth, ain't I a woman? This mouth do dope shit like break barriers like Shirley Chisholm, Michelle Obama, Tyra Banks, my auntie, my sister, my niece, and my mama. Say no like Claudia Cloven, who refused to give up her seat because this mouth simply don't bow down to nobody. Then he stopped me and was like, "Man, stop with all that deep shit."